Standing outside Bethlehem City Hall right now. I'm going to try something new this year. Actually, the Dime, and it was just because I really started thinking about the review I did on the Dime as far as live music goes. All right. Honestly, the Dime, there's two places in Allentown that in the entire city I actually like as far as restaurants and bars go. One of them is Candida's, the other one is the Dime right above the arena. I actually really like that place. But anyway, the live music there is just, you can't, I'm not backing down from my review about it. I'm not backing down from one word. But I want to try this year I'm going to do something new. Anytime a place or, something gets a bad review, there's going to be a last part to it, whether it's a 1 or 2 part review, but there's going to be a third part to it. And the third part to it's going to be if I have anything that, any suggestions I have that they could, change things around, do things differently to make it a better experience for you. And we're going to start with the Dime is kind of the guinea pig on this one. So congratulations for being the first victim. But anyway, I forgot. Got to be careful on how you use that word. But anyway, in all honesty, for the Dime, all right, to improve as far as having live music there goes. Saturday night, it was just background, all right, and a couple suggestions I have, and this you can use, for any live music venue that you can take this for almost any place that you might think, okay, it's great, but first off is I know the layout of that place. Try to find a better spot for the musicians, honestly, because when you have it at the far end of the bar with that little bit of open space, it's really, you're paying realistically, like Saturday night, I was like, okay, you're paying a band when you can have a DJ or just, have the music streamed in over the speakers, which I'm not saying don't pay the bands, don't get me wrong, but you're paying a band or, for something that a lot of people, they clapped and everything, but, it wasn't really working. You know what I mean? So try to find a better spot in the restaurant where the musicians are more visible, honestly. And that maybe you could open up a little more, a few more feet if people do want to dance, because I did see a couple of the ladies there moving around, but it's just, like I said, where the location of the band was. It's fantastic, right next to the windows and everything. But from a customer experience, I'm the type where I want to see the band. I want to, things like that. And it wasn't there. It wasn't even close to being there. So the main suggestion I would have for the Dime, and take this into any place that you might like, maybe give them the same suggestion if they're having the same problem, is find a better location in the restaurant for the band. The second thing that I took notice to is after manager told me that they're going to actually start supporting the local music, and trying to have bands every week is in advance, be careful of two things. And again, this could be for anywhere you live in the world. Be very careful of two things. Number one, you don't get into a rut of having, which a lot of a lot of places do that have live music, is you don't want to get into that rut of, okay, over, same musicians, same bands over and over and over again. And you get into, a routine with the same musicians and bands. I realize that, you want the bands and the musicians to bring even more people out, but, you can't, you also want to try and attract new people on your own that don't, without the musicians that you might not normally bring in. And that is where the variety comes up, where not getting into a rut and routine comes in. And the final suggestion I would have is to, and pay attention to the dime on, with their live music. Really start paying attention to these things. Is to be careful about the bands you book. I mean, I love, I said about the cover music bands, but this area is a fantastic local music scene. In all honesty, it's just I'm kind of burnt out after over 2.5 years from all the cover bands. But man, it's cold out here. Welcome to winter in January. But make sure that the bands. I mean, I was somewhere else that evening, so here I am in old pair of, street clothes, jeans, sneakers, things like that. And I walk in, I'm like, I stuck out like you wouldn't believe there. So, get the musicians, have the variety of genres, but get the, unless you are going to like change your prices or you want to try and change your clientele on the weekends, try, make sure you get the bands that fit the venue. This goes for all places that have live music. Always try to make sure that, where if do the research on the band. If you see that, or maybe have somebody, ask people, hey, have you seen them before? What type of crowd they bring? Like I said, you always want to try to attract new people, but if you are a mid-range to higher end, restaurant or bar, obviously your people that your average person isn't going to come in, and shell out, $5 to $6 for a beer, or $10 to $12 for a meal, at least. So, either when you have the live music there, either try to make your prices and menu and drinks tailored to that audience, or just try to bring in the bands that will attract the audience, that the people in the customer base that normally come to your venue on that night anyway, and overall and in general anyway. So, Michael Phoenix, founder of the magazine. It's in the 20s right now without the wind. So, take everybody from Bethlehem City Hall in beautiful Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. As you can tell, I think it's the Epiphany, which is like around the 9th or so. Well, check that, it's past that. Anyway, they still have the trees up and everything. They haven't taken them down yet. But from over in Bethlehem, take everybody, stay safe in the night, and always stay warm this winter. Hope 2016 this year goes great for you. Later.